Good evening, beautiful person from beautiful, unseasonably warm, and now dark Winnipeg. So I am at my desk as, today's been one of those call, back to back kind of days. So I did manage to go on my run, but I didn't do my call. I didn't do my Facebook Live at that point. I might have, but I didn't. So there you go. I'm doing it now. It's all good. It's all good. Every day except 7 this year in 5781. So just to introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. My name is Hadassah Viatar. I'm a life coach and a wellness advocate, and I help beautiful people like you refresh your life. And what do I mean by that? So my mother passed away at the age of 69 from complications of diabetes, and she never got to see my kids grow up. And it wasn't because she didn't know how to take care of herself, because of course she did. We all do. We're grown-ups. But, yeah, by the time she did start taking care of herself, it was too late. She just had other priorities, and, other people's needs were more important than her own health. So that happens to a lot of women. I don't want it to happen to me, and I don't want it to happen to you. And that's why I'm here every day, except 7, to talk to you about various things, about health, about business, about mindset, and so on. And today I want to talk about mindset in particular. As you know, I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm running, and I am currently listening to an audiobook called Take Control of Your Life by Mel Robbins. I love Mel Robbins. Don't you love Mel Robbins? He's amazing. And so unfortunately this is only available as an audiobook, so you'd need to, it's an Audible original, so you'd need to listen to it. Sorry if you're a visual kind of person, but there it is. And she's talking about fear in particular. There's so much fear, especially this past year. The fear and anxiety has just been incredible. And as Brene Brown says, when we have fear and anxiety, a lot of people's go-to emotions are hatred and anger, which is not the best thing for our world. So when Mel Robbins is talking about fears that people have, and in general, most of them seem to devolve to loss of control, perceived loss of control, feared loss of control. A lot of us who grew up with various situations, and we feel like we need to do a lot of controlling. And, if you want to talk about stress, if you are in control of everything, and let me tell you, there's a lot of things that you think you're in control of, but you aren't. By the way, I cannot see comments, so if you did leave a comment, I thank you, and I'll have to come around after and respond. Sorry. So here's the thing. This year, or this past year, 2020 in particular, has exposed quite cruelly how little control we have over things that we thought we had control over. And I'm not even talking about lockdowns and stay-at-home requirements and businesses closing and all of that stuff. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about control of our health, control of our ability to be with other people without the fear of making them sick or them making us sick. So it's been a time of a lot of loss of control and lack of control, and people get very stressed about that. And the beautiful thing about this book by Mel Robbins is that it's 6 coaching sessions with people that she's worked with. I'm only on number 2, so can't say anything about the other ones just yet, but she's working with people for whom fear takes the form of perfectionism, takes the form of paralysis, and they know what they want to do, they know what they need to do, and they're not doing it. And so many of us have this problem, right? That we know what to do, and for whatever reason, we're just sitting in front of our computers or whatever it is, and we're not doing it. And why? And so she dissects their stories, and with them she helps them realize where the fear comes from and what to do about it. And what I particularly loved, and this is where this quote, "The secret to mind control is body awareness," is just mind-blowing. It's just gold. So she's working in this particular one. She's working with a young woman who um, has various, was always told she was smart. That was me, etc. And basically developed a fixed mindset and a paralyzing fear of failure. And what happens to her is that in business situations, if she gets tense or nervous or upset, or also other situations, like particularly a problem in business situations, she starts crying. And she can't control it, and it's so embarrassing. And yeah, and it's like if you were in a negotiation or some sort of business situation, you start crying. That's not exactly a position of strength, shall we say. So one of the things that Mel teaches her in this coaching, which is just so amazing, she teaches her how to recognize the body symptoms that are uh, presaging, if you will, or bringing our a warning signal of what's happening. So basically, if she starts feeling tension in her chest, tightness in her chest, a tightness in her throat, there's a wave of emotion, of feeling, of tension going up. And by the time it's reached her eyes, it's too late. She's going to cry. But if she can recognize it before it gets all the way up, she can head it off at the pass with practice, of course. This is something she's been doing her entire life, so it's going to take practice. But isn't that just magic? It's not magic, actually. It's science, but it seems magical because Mills talks about research that's been done, and basically she says it's the body. I think it's the subconscious mind, but they're pretty much the same thing. It knows when there's any sort of threat or anything happening before the conscious mind does. She's talking about Damasio, who's a whole different story in himself. He did some experiments with people that turn over cards, and it's a complicated story, but the idea is that some cards would give you a good result, and some cards would give you a bad result. And they had 4 decks of cards, and they had to figure out which ones were the good ones for them to do. And she says that in this experiment, it usually took between 40 to 80 cards before they realized which ones were the good ones, which ones were going to give them a good payoff. But they had electrodes attached to their palms so they could measure their sweat and so on. And it says that their bodies or the subconscious minds knew which one were the wrong or the bad decks before their conscious minds did. And then they would start to feel nervous about turning over cards from that deck even long before their conscious minds. And this happened within 10 cards, whereas the conscious minds needed 40 to 80 to catch up. So 2 examples of how your body, your subconscious mind knows things before your conscious mind does. So it's really, really important if you have body awareness, if you can listen to your subconscious mind talking to you through your body, then you can catch things, you can catch fear, you can catch emotions that are not serving you at that moment. You can catch them before your thoughts start spiraling. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that amazing? So this is something that I'm going to be working on, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So drop me a message or drop me a comment and let me know what you think of this mind-blowing idea of your body knows before your conscious mind does. So I'm going to close this down. I hope this was helpful. If it was, I would love it if you would like, share, comment, all the things. And also, just very quickly, if you would like my list of 13 stress busters, drop me a message and I'll be happy to send it to you. Have a great evening. Remember, I love you. Talk to you again tomorrow.